Hey everybody. Before I started today's video, there's something kind of important that I wanted to talk about that's going on in the Sims community and in the world at large. Today's video deals with the idea of retrofuturism, and I'll go on to explain in the video what that is, but it's basically sort of the image of the future, what people imagine the future to be from the perspective of the 1950s. And obviously, the 1950s were pretty tragic in terms of how minorities were treated, how black people were treated. The Civil Rights Act wasn't passed yet. Schools were still segregated. And I never want to put across the idea of, wow, I want to go back to the 50s, because obviously a ton has changed since then for the better, but a lot of work still needs to be done before we can truly say that we're treated equally. So this comes into play in The Sims specifically with the skin tones that are available. And there's a lot of people that are talking now and that have been talking for the past few years about the fact that there simply are not enough skin tone swatches for black people and people of color. There are plenty of white skin swatches that work fine, but the dark skin swatches that are available are just not good. So you have people like Xmiramira taking it upon themselves to make usable, really good black skin tones for use in The Sims, but it's sad that people have to do that themselves, while people like me can just enjoy it in the base game without having to do any work. I felt like this is a topic I shouldn't brush over. I will link some, people who can explain it better than I can. Just wanted to, before we get into today's video, just sort of express that if you play The Sims, you're interested in it at all, we all need to be amplifying those black voices until they have the same representation that we all have in this game. Okay, thanks for listening. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, how's it going? Glad you're here. So I grew up in Central Florida, and I've spent a lot of my life going to the Disney parks on a semi-regular basis. Disney World is one of the good things about living in Florida, if you can believe it. And my favorite part of the Magic Kingdom park was always Tomorrowland, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a area focused on the future, focused on tomorrow, and it features rides like the People Mover, which is supposed to be a futuristic mode of transport, Space Mountain, and the Carousel of Progress, all of which feature depictions of the future as Disney sort of imagines and presents it. But this Disney vision of the future always seemed to me like it was tied to ideas of the past. Like, I was born in 1994 and I could still tell that they were ideas of the future that were not like representative of what, it seemed to go backwards in a way more than forwards. It like had old timey imagery, like posters that looked like they were from the 50s and 60s, that kind of thing. And obviously now that I'm older, I recognize those ideas as retrofuturism. Retrofuturism is the depiction of the future as it was imagined in decades past, usually around the 50s, and it kind of incorporates design elements from the space age, from the machine age, big, bold use of glass and steel, open windows, curved walls, that kind of thing. I'm doing kind of a poor job of explaining it, but just imagine the Jetsons, and I'll put in some pictures from around Tomorrowland. So it just seems sort of like an idea of a utopian society. So my first experience with retrofuturism came at a young age from The Happiest Place on Earth, and it sort of continued with the movie The Incredibles. At least for me in my life, I loved The Incredibles. So I thought it would be a fun idea to build a retrofuturism styled house. Here we have basically the shell of our house, and I feel like this would be a good shell challenge too. Who knows, maybe someday. So we have sort of our modular design a little bit, and sort of this aerial suspended look I feel like is kind of indicative of that sort of retrofuturism, like that airport picture. So now I'm just going to keep playing around with some of these roofs and try to get some of those like stark angles and sweeping curves and stuff like that down, and then I'll check in with you guys in a few minutes. Time for an update. I've been going for 47 minutes because this is for sure the most intricate and out there build I've done yet, and I feel like it's pretty good. I think this, the juxtaposition of these curves seems pretty retrofuturism. The glass dome roof seems like it. The glass walls. So I think I'm just going to give each of these rooms a purpose and then do some decorating. And then I think I'm a pretty good portion of the way there. Yeah, normally I talk more during the build, but this one has just required like a ton of focus. And it might just look like a mess, but I'm trying my best. So let's get some doors. Let's get some doors in this place. Let's furnish. I feel like these frosted glass ones are pretty nice. Just looking to make sure there's nothing better. Yeah, seems kind of, you know, glamorous type of thing. Let's just put them everywhere. Okay, so we've got doors everywhere we need them. Let's just figure out what we want these things to be. And here's probably the kitchen and dining room area, because you could go pretty much anywhere you want to after you grab your food. So let's start here in the kitchen. Yeah, so maybe one of these. Maybe more like, actually the Blandco, I know they're the cheapest ones, but I think these serve the purpose pretty well. Now let's get our fridge over here. Yeah, see, look, this is kind of that sort of car culture inspired 50s-ish. That's what I'm looking for. And we do have a matching stove. We should go steel. Yeah. And I feel like we'll get there later. Never mind. Jumping ahead of myself. Good, we got our steel kitchens. Now maybe an island. An island would be good in here, but in the right color. And of course we need some stools. Oh, and we have our, you know, our round but angular stools that go well with the theme. So what I want to do is see if I want to make sure that our Sims can get in here. Let's see if our robot can come in. Yes, they can. Oh, and since it's a robot, we can flirt with machines too. Ooh, can you sit here? Awesome. Okay, now let's get a little dining area in here. Dining room, here we come. This table is called Martian Invader. So obviously, like, look at these legs, look kind of space age inspired, looking like a landing gear on like a saucer. Now what chairs do we have? This is pretty interesting. Okay, let's have our robot bake some sugar cookies. Yeah, everything seems to be in working order. Of course, she wants to mix on the island instead of the counter, so that's fun. And why don't we go with some fun lighting too? Okay, so that's cool. Let's get some flooring and some walls in here. I'm picturing like black and white checkerboard, you know, some Johnny Rockets action in here. I feel like there's just got to be some glass in here too. This back wall could be glass. Cool. This is okay. Yeah, the glass really helped. Now this seems like we're in space, you know? And I did see James Turner. I was just catching up on some of his stuff yesterday, and he did something really cool with the shelves outside. The Immaculate. I mean, this is an expensive feature. Each of these is $45, but it's that cool kind of mid-century sort of detail. You know, I like the cross-hatching there. Okay, that's nice. Let's see if I can get... What kind of roof textures can we get on here? I mean, it's ugly. Oh, solar shingle maybe? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. So then maybe some metal walls on the outside. The glow that flows wall panel. Does it like... Oh, it moves? Yeah, found it. That's the one. Are there any other darker colors? White works in here. Now that's pretty future. Okay, so kitchen, say kitchen is done. Kitchen dining room, I should say. I'm pretty cool with that. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, we can have this cool shifting wallpaper inside here. And we could have it, and we have this metal sort of industrial looking stuff, but I don't know if that's the vibe. I don't want to just like, you know, use this everywhere. We could do another glass scenario. You know what? Come this far. Why not? Okay. We're doing okay, everybody. Now, how about the rest of the outside of this house can be steel? Could be some of that sheet metal. Okay. Now, maybe the floors. I feel like shag carpet would be a good use of the retro. How about here we have, I don't know, a great room? Is that what they call it? It'll just be like the living room. This can be I don't know. I don't want to leave the bedrooms out. I have it. The bedrooms, I just got to give some more money. This family works hard. I know just the beds we need. This will be the sleeping pod room. Okay, now we need to test this. First of all, let's go ahead and assign these. I hope it works. Yeah. Okay, whole family is sleeping. It's perfect. Love it. Now the whole world can see how futuristic they are. Okay, so that solves the bedroom issue. So then maybe this is just the bathroom. What is the Most futuristic hygienic decontamination pod. So that's kind of cool. We got this cool looking bathtub. See, that looks kind of, with its curves and its, you know, the little black accent pieces on it. It looks kind of retro-futuristic. These two things don't really go together, but oh well. You know what could be kind of cool is some glass floors. Right in the middle of the room is cool. Now, what kind of flooring and walls do we want in here? You see, I feel like it's just got to be pretty monochromatic, pretty black and white. Do we have, like, metal? Okay. Now, some more windows, of course. Oh, you know what's better than that? This frosted glass for a little more privacy. Wonderful. Now, what kind of tile? Do we want something, like, nice and luxurious, maybe? I feel like these octagonal ones are pretty good. It's kind of cool. Now, a sink. Yeah, this isn't very retro future. I feel like this is nice. Gets the job done, commercial metal sink. It's made of metal. It's geometric. Ticks a couple of the boxes. There is like a really futuristic toilet here. Oh, okay. There we go. That's the one. And this is a pretty big bathroom, but I would consider it a luxury bathroom. Get some towels in here. Some robes. Perfect. Okay. Now maybe a rug in here. A rug or two. Circular ones. Okay. That's a certainly an interesting bathroom. Now maybe this could also be the TV room, multi-purpose. We get a nice big TV back there. Okay, it's kind of cool for family night stuff. What can we put out here? A pool. Now isn't that fun? Okay, into it. That's officially really cool. We have sort of an infinity pool going. It's certainly not safe, but it is futuristic. Okay, so here's just an updated overview of our retro-futurism house. Not totally feeling the metal on the walls, but I'm not feeling it enough to change it. We can get some metal flooring. That's kind of cool. Some decoder tile, they call it. Useful in the hallways. Okay, and then maybe we get an easel out here, or maybe like a robotics. Can we get the robotics workstation right up against the pool so we know that it's safe? Okay, so let's get that in here. Do we have everything? I mean, I think that's it. Okay, so let's just take a little tour. Here is, this is the retro-futurism inspired house. Let me get you a couple angles. That's a good one. Okay, now let's see what it's like to play in here. Let's go ahead and get all of our Sims down here. Okay, ready? Okay, everyone can get out of their PJs, please. Sorry you have to see this. Okay. I guess I have a bad reputation. All right, we just got home from work. Now the first thing we want to do is climb 3 stories up a ladder. What a nice thing to come home to. You can see the minutes at the bottom of the screen ticking away. So it's taken them quite a while to get up here. But here they are. So why don't we go and eat a cookie? Sit down and we could talk to Judy. I think the kitchen is probably the most well done part of this. It really does seem like I'm at Epcot and they're showing me a video of the future. You got the wallpaper that is shifting and changing color. Okay, you know what? Since he's worked so hard all day, he deserves a mud bath. He deserves to treat himself every once in a while. Wait, you were barely in there. Okay, there you go. We can have a friendly chit chat with the toilet, I guess. Okay, that's enough. That's enough mud bath for now. You can prank the toilet? Okay, sorry guys. I was not prepared for all of the toilet options. But if this doesn't scream retro-futurism, I don't know what does. Hey son. Wow, everyone hates it. Oh, hey bud. Okay, so obviously there's a lot going on here. We've also got the TV, which he's going to watch. So that's pretty nice. Now let's see him go for a swim. This is the first time I've ever made a infinity pool kind of like this with the windows to make it see-through, and it's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Now finally, let's craft a chatterbot. I guess we can't craft a chatterbot. I guess let's just tinker at the robotics station. Great. So we've confirmed that everything works. So now that that's done, let me just go ahead and upload this to the gallery And remember, this is $65,000, but without all of those $10,000 sleeping pods, forget if I use the 10,000 or probably the 3,000. Anyway, without those, it would be a lot cheaper. I'm going to call this a retro or just retro-futuristic floating because it won't give me any more characters. Okay, give it a sec. It's going to take a while. There we go. It's up on the gallery. Enjoy it. Thank you all so much for bearing with me on our trip to the future. I had to spend a lot of time just sort of figuring things out. The last, my tiny home skyscraper kind of came naturally. This one had a lot of obstacles to overcome, mostly with the roof. I had a lot of fun building this. I feel like it was a challenge, and I encourage you to try to build the same thing. It was fun being able to sort of take a deep dive into my memories of the future from, my Disney childhood experiences. And I think there is a lot to be said there is a lot of discourse surrounding retrofuturism about, imagining what the future could have been, sort of a remembering or fantasizing about an alternate timeline where things are better than they are right now, just sort of longing for a better world. There's good and bad that comes with that, obviously. But what I have to do is sort of encourage myself to take it as something to aspire towards rather than something to sort of lament the world that we have now. And hopefully we can all come together to change it and make it better. So if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday, so please check back and feel free to watch as many times as you want because it's YouTube and it's free. I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.